Welcome back, true crime enthusiasts. Today, we delve into the dark world of Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, one of America's most notorious serial killers. Brace yourselves for a gripping tale of terror and unexpected celebrity status amidst heinous crimes. Let's get started. Richard Ramirez, infamously known as the Night Stalker, was born on February 29, 1960, in El Paso, Texas. Little did the world know that this seemingly ordinary child would grow up to become one of the most notorious serial killers in American history. Ramirez's childhood was fraught with challenges. As a young boy, he suffered from epilepsy, enduring seizures that persisted for several years. This medical condition, coupled with a troubled family background, would play a significant role in shaping Ramirez's dark and disturbed psyche. A pivotal moment in Ramirez's life came when he crossed paths with his cousin, Miguel, a war veteran who had seen the horrors of Vietnam. Miguel's influence proved to be ominous as he regaled Ramirez with chilling tales of torture and death, showing him Polaroid pictures of mutilated victims. The most traumatic event occurred on May 4, 1973, when a domestic dispute between Miguel and his wife ended in a fatal shooting, with blood splattering young Richard's face. This harrowing encounter left an indelible mark on Ramirez's psyche, isolating him further from the world. Following the traumatic incident, Ramirez became increasingly withdrawn and disconnected. He dropped out of school, finding no solace in academia, and began to indulge in rebellious behaviors. At a mere age of 10, he delved into light drugs and marijuana, drastically impacting his academic performance and discipline. His spiral into criminality started with petty theft and shoplifting, and as he matured, his crimes escalated to house robberies. In 1983, at the age of 23, Ramirez made a fateful decision that would forever change the course of history. He left Texas behind and ventured to the bustling city of Los Angeles, California, seeking an environment where he could unleash his darkest desires. It was in this sprawling metropolis that Ramirez's reign of terror began, earning him the chilling moniker, the Night Stalker. Richard Ramirez's approach to his heinous crimes was a departure from the typical modus operandi of serial killers. Unlike many notorious murderers who carefully targeted specific victim profiles, Ramirez's method was characterized by its randomness and unpredictability. He struck fear into the hearts of Californians by showing no discernible pattern in his choice of victims. Men, women, and children from different ethnicities, social backgrounds, and ages all fell prey to his brutality. Newspapers across California devoted their front pages to the gruesome details of the crimes, and television broadcasts interrupted regular programming to deliver updates on the manhunt for the elusive killer. Throughout his reign of terror, Ramirez perpetrated a horrifying array of crimes that left communities paralyzed with fear. His first confirmed murder occurred on April 10, 1984, when he entered the home of a 79-year-old woman named Jenny Vinco in Los Angeles. After brutally stabbing her to death, he subjected her lifeless body to unspeakable mutilation. This heinous act marked the beginning of a spree that would last over a year. Over the next several months, Ramirez's killing spree escalated. His victims included both sexes and spanned different age groups. His violent rampages extended across Southern California, leaving investigators baffled as they struggled to connect the seemingly random dots. In one particularly chilling incident on March 17, 1985, Ramirez attacked a couple in their suburban home, murdering the husband and sexually assaulting the wife. He then bound and gagged her and proceeded to ransack the house, leaving her terrified and uncertain of her fate. Fortunately, she managed to untie herself and alert authorities, providing valuable descriptions that brought the Night Stalker closer to justice. As investigators delved into the Night Stalker's motives, they uncovered disturbing clues at crime scenes that pointed to Ramirez's macabre interests. Pentagrams and devilish symbols were left as gruesome signatures, hinting at a fascination with the occult and Satanism. Ramirez's affinity for heavy music, particularly bands like AC/DC and Judas Priest, added an eerie soundtrack to his reign of terror. The lyrics of AC/DC's song Night Prowler seemed to resonate with Ramirez, fueling his sinister alter ego. Despite exhaustive efforts by law enforcement, capturing the elusive Night Stalker proved to be an intricate puzzle that confounded investigators at every turn. An identikit of Richard Ramirez was broadcast on television and circulated in newspapers, but the initial attempts to apprehend him yielded no results. The cunning killer seemed to slip through their fingers, leaving the state of California in a perpetual state of fear and uncertainty. However, a critical breakthrough came when one of Ramirez's intended victims managed to survive his brutal assault. The courageous survivor provided a crucial piece of evidence, a description of the car in which the Night Stalker fled the scene. The vehicle was identified as an old orange Toyota with distinctive scratches, a vital clue that launched a massive manhunt. All available forces of the Los Angeles Police Department were mobilized to track down the elusive killer and the notorious orange Toyota. Their relentless efforts eventually led them to a parking lot on the outskirts of the city where the wanted car was found. Amid hundreds of fingerprints, they made a chilling discovery. The fingerprints on the car's surface matched the identikit of Richard Ramirez. With this damning evidence in hand, the pursuit intensified, and by August 27, 1985, the city streets were adorned with leaflets containing a photograph of the maniac, urging the public to assist in his capture. In a twist of fate, circumstances played a pivotal role in helping the police close in on their target. On August 24, Ramirez had left the state, unaware of the intense manhunt that had been launched in his absence. Little did he know that upon his return to Los Angeles on the morning of August 31, he would unknowingly walk into the arms of the law. Oblivious to the mounting evidence against him, he went about his daily routine, casually going shopping as if nothing had happened. However, fate had other plans, as sharp-eyed individuals in the store immediately recognized him as the dreaded Night Stalker, whose terrifying reign had haunted Los Angeles for months. The police were promptly notified, and within moments, the suspect was taken into custody. The reign of terror was finally over, and the man responsible for the heinous crimes that had shaken California was apprehended. In November 1989, the courts rendered their verdict, and Richard Ramirez was sentenced to death in the gas chamber. He was swiftly sent to death row, where he awaited the inevitable fate that awaited him. Strangely, even behind bars, Ramirez continued to captivate the public's attention. His dark and sinister charisma attracted an unexpected number of admirers, especially female fans who were inexplicably drawn to him. These fans sent him explicit materials, including love letters and suggestive photographs, shocking the public and revealing a disturbing side of the human psyche. In a jaw-dropping twist of events, Richard Ramirez found love behind bars. One of his most devoted admirers, Doreen Leoy, became infatuated with the Night Stalker and began visiting him regularly during his incarceration. Their unusual relationship blossomed, leading to an unlikely prison marriage in October 1996. Despite public outrage and condemnation, Leoy remained steadfast in her love and support for the convicted serial killer. As the years wore on, Ramirez's behavior on death row became increasingly erratic and unsettling. He engaged in obscene and lewd acts during visits, leading prison authorities to impose restrictions on his interactions with visitors. On June 7, 2013, the reign of terror and fascination with Richard Ramirez came to an end. He passed away from complications related to liver failure at the age of 53, marking the conclusion of a dark and notorious chapter in American crime history. The Night Stalker's death did little to quell the lasting impact of his crimes and the enduring public intrigue surrounding his twisted persona. His reign of terror and the subsequent fame he garnered from his crimes serve as a haunting reminder of the darkness that lurks within the human psyche. As the years pass, the chilling tale of the Night Stalker continues to captivate the imagination and curiosity of those drawn to the inexplicable allure of true crime. Thank you for joining our journey today. If you enjoyed our video, don't forget to click like and subscribe. Until next time, and stay safe.